Nightclub. Before Rockstar Games made changes to the Nightclub in 2022, it was one of the best businesses in the game. After the changes Rockstar has made to it in 2022, it is the best business in the entire game outside of maybe the Kasatka submarine for experienced players. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works because it is actually pretty complicated. But I guarantee you it'll be worth it because with these changes, not only is it one of the best businesses in GTA Online for experienced players, you could also argue it is the best business in the game for beginners as well. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe for more stuff like this, and let's go. Okay, first things first, location. You actually have to buy a nightclub, so where should you buy it? Well, in my experience, it is definitely better to get one as north as possible. So I would recommend, if you can afford it, getting one of the two at the top of Los Santos. The main reason for that is it's just a much more central location. Some of the sell missions, some of the resupply missions, setup missions, whatever, they can be actually at the top of the map. So not only is it annoying having to actually drive to the top of the map, but you're also going to have to bring a slow vehicle back, and driving it through the city as well to get to the bottom of the city, well, that's going to add an extra few minutes every single time, and I don't recommend it. These two at the top of the city are also really close to the highway, so it makes all that stuff a lot easier. Okay, let's go through the nightclub upgrades when you're buying it. We got nightclub style, light rig, nightclub name, and then dancers and dry ice. All of those are completely cosmetic, and I wouldn't recommend it as a beginner unless you've got millions and millions to waste just to make your nightclub look a bit cooler. Storage, on the other hand, can actually be really useful. By upgrading your storage, that means you can store more product before you have to sell it, so you're not going to have to sell as often. Again, if you don't have the money for it right now, don't stress, but this is something I would probably save up for in the future, just so you don't have to sell every couple of hours. You can sort of wait like 20 hours before you have to sell if you've got a maximum size storage. But anyway, right now, we probably don't have to worry about it. Maybe grab one storage upgrade if you can afford it, but that's something you can upgrade in the future. Also, in the storage section, you have options to add more garage space, but again, that's something I would probably do later. Okay, so you've got a nightclub now. Once you get in, you're gonna have to do a few setup missions. They're not gonna take too long. I would just recommend trying to enjoy them, because you're only gonna be able to do these once. Before we get into how the nightclub actually works as well, one small thing I want to let you know. First of all, you're going to need to set yourself up as a CEO or a VIP. This is how you do it. Just go into your interaction menu, go to SecuroServe, and set one up. Also, since now all businesses can be operated in invite-only sessions, I would recommend doing that, because if you're doing this in a public session, you are most likely gonna get griefed. So I just did it on screen, that's how you do it. Once that's done, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this business works, because like I said at the start, it can be pretty confusing. So the nightclub actually makes you money through two different ways. The first one is the nightclub itself, like the nightclub up the top, where people come in, dance, drink, pay money. You're gonna earn money through that, passively. But there's also another way to make money, and that's through the underground warehouse. This warehouse is full of nightclub technicians that you can hire. They're gonna go out, get cargo and product for you to eventually sell. What's great about the nightclub is both the nightclub up the top and the warehouse down the bottom are both very much passive businesses, so you don't actually have to do too much to make a lot of money with this business. So let's go through the two sections, and we'll start with the nightclub up the top. This part of the business is actually quite simple. You're going to earn money every single 48 minutes, which is an in-game day. That money is going to appear in your safe that's in your nightclub office, and all you have to do is go and collect it. So, how much money can you actually make with the nightclub up the top? Well, that depends on how high your popularity is for your nightclub. Now, your goal is to keep this popularity bar full at pretty much all times, and if that bar is full, then you're going to make $50,000 in that safe every single 48 minutes, which is honestly a fair bit of money for doing pretty much nothing. Okay, so how do we keep that popularity bar full? Well, there's a couple of ways to do it, or a few, actually. The first way is to hire a different DJ. As you can see on your computer, there's 4 different DJs that you can hire for your nightclub. Now, you're going to notice that some of them cost $10,000 to hire, and the other one costs $100,000 to hire. What that means is that one that's $100,000, I've never actually hired them before. So anytime you hire a DJ that you have never hired before at your nightclub, that popularity bar will go all the way up, no matter what it's at any point. From there, you can then rebook DJs that you've hired before for $10,000, and that's going to fill up that popularity bar a little bit, but not all the way. So that's probably the easiest but also most expensive way to fill up the popularity bar. Another way you can do it is by completing nightclub popularity missions. Now you can either start these up on your computer here where it says promote club, or if you're not at your nightclub but you want to start one of these missions up, just call Tony on your phone and click request a mission. Doesn't matter which way you prefer, that's going to set you out on a mission that will fill up your popularity a little bit. I should also let you know that just calling Tony at any time is a quick way to see what your nightclub popularity is at, so you don't have to come back in and check. So that way is the cheapest way to do it, but probably the longest. Note that you will also get a little bit of money for completing those missions as well. But then there's another feature that Rockstar added back in 2022, which is also very quick and very cheap and also very effective, and that is either kicking out a troublemaker that's in your nightclub, or by delivering a drunken VIP out to wherever they need to go. Sometimes that'll be their home, sometimes that'll be a hospital, sometimes it'll be rehab. From what I've tested, one of these events will pop up in your nightclub about every 48 minutes, which is actually really good because that's as often as you need to do it. You don't need to do it more often than that to keep your popularity full. So what I would do is call Tony every hour-ish, let's say, see what your popularity bar is at. If it's not all the way full, quickly head into your nightclub and there should be someone that you can interact with. Again, that'll either be a troublemaker that you can quickly kick out or a drunken VIP that you can deliver home. Once you do that, you'll get about $10,000 and it'll also increase your popularity. Now, I just want to pause the video here. There is a method where if you enter your nightclub in passive mode, which will guarantee one of these troublemaker or VIP missions spawning in. You used to be able to do that over and over and over again and just boost your popularity up, but from my understanding, in 2024, this has been nerfed or patched. So that's pretty simple. If you keep on top of that popularity bar, you're going to make $50,000 every 48 minutes in that safe. I should also tell you that that safe can hold up to $250,000, so I would collect this every few hours. Cool. Okay, let's move down to the warehouse. Now, this is where it starts to get a lot more complicated and a lot less beginner friendly. This warehouse can make you a lot of money, but it also costs a bit of money to set up, and there's a few reasons for that. First of all, you're actually going to have to hire the technicians, and they're a few $100,000 each. You can hire up to 5 of them. You'll start off with 1 for free when you buy the nightclub, but from there you can buy the extra 4. You can assign each technician to one specific product that's on your screen now. That technician's entire job will be going out, collecting whatever you've told them to collect, and bringing it back to your nightclub. From there, whenever you're happy with how much product you have, you can then sell it for money. Here's where it gets kinda complicated and even more expensive. All of these products on your screen now actually correspond to another business that's in GTA Online. Cargo and Shipments is for the Special Cargo Warehouse. Sporting Goods is for the Bunker. South American Imports is for the Coke Lockup. Pharmaceutical Research is for the Meth Lab. Organic Produce for the Weed Farm. Printing and Copying for the Document Forgery Office. And Cash Creation for your Cash Factory. Let's use Cargo and Shipments as an example since it's the first one. You can only assign a technician to Cargo and Shipments if you actually have a special cargo warehouse. For Sporting Goods, if you want your technician to accrue sporting goods, you also need to own a bunker. So now you can see where this gets very expensive. If you want to have 5 technicians accruing goods for you, you need to own 5 extra businesses. What that means is, of course, this is not accessible to beginners at all because they're not going to have the extra businesses. But what this means for experienced players who have a lot of businesses, well, that means you can make a lot more money. It's also important to note that this will not affect those existing businesses in any way. This isn't like stealing product from those businesses. This isn't slowing down their production at all. No, this is completely separate, but you do have to own those businesses in order for your technicians to be able to get them. There's also one more way to collect goods for your nightclub warehouse. So there still is a way to make money with the warehouse if you don't own other businesses, but it's not as effective. Here's how you do it. Go outside your nightclub, go to your phone and call Johan. Once you call Johan, you'll see 2 things. First of all, you can see how much stock is in your nightclub warehouse, which is kind of nice, but also you can start up a mission. From there, Johan will call you back, give you a mission, and then what you have to do is go steal the cargo and deliver it back to your warehouse. So basically, in this situation, you're the one acting as a nightclub technician. Overall, it's not a terrible way to make money. This mission should pay you about $10,000 as well as fill up the nightclub warehouse, so it's honestly not too bad, but it's not as effective as just letting it happen in the background. Okay, so like I said, you can get up to 5 technicians to secure goods for you in the nightclub warehouse. So, which 5 make you the most money? Because they all actually get you a different amount of money. Okay, well, starting off with cargo and shipments, that's going to get you about $8,570 an hour. Sporting goods is going to get you about $7,500 per hour. South American imports should get you $13,500 per hour, which is a lot. Pharmaceutical research should get you about $11,500 per hour. Organic produce should get you $6,075 per hour. Printing and copying should get you $5,400, and then cash creation should get you $9,450 per hour. So, as you can see, the best 5 are going to be cargo and shipments, sporting goods, South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation. Obviously, if you only have 1 or 2, I would prioritize the ones that make the most money, so that would be South American imports and pharmaceutical research, but if you have all 5, then those are the 5 to go with. Before we move on to actually selling, let's talk about the upgrades tab. So we've got 3 upgrades here: equipment upgrade, staff upgrade, and security upgrade. And as you can see, the equipment upgrade is very, very expensive. So what do these upgrades do? Well, the equipment upgrade is gonna make the technicians in your actual warehouse get goods faster. So you're gonna make more money with the warehouse. Obviously, that is a lot of money, but if you plan on using the nightclub a lot, and if you plan on playing GTA Online for a while, this is definitely worth it. If you only think you're going to be playing this game for a few weeks, then I wouldn't recommend it. The staff upgrade acts as the same sort of thing, but for the nightclub itself upstairs, instead of the warehouse down below. This one's a lot cheaper, and this is one I would actually recommend if you can afford it. What this is going to do is basically make your nightclub popularity just decrease a bit slower, making it easier to maintain. And the security upgrade means your business will get raided a lot less. Now, occasionally your businesses can get raided. That means you're going to have to go on a mission and essentially protect your nightclub. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've played this game for thousands of hours and I have never actually got my nightclub raided, so I don't really recommend this because I've never even bought it. Okay, let's talk about selling the product in your warehouse. It's time to sell. Well, first off, what we need to note is that price down the bottom, Tony, who's your nightclub manager, is actually gonna take a 10% cut of that. So whatever that is, take 10% off. You'll also see that you can complete special sell missions that are gonna pay you a bit more for delivering certain items. Personally, I don't like doing this because I just like to sell it all at once, but if you want to give that a go, it's up to you. It'll pay a bit more, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so when should we sell? Well, if you're trying to make the most money possible, I would actually recommend selling over $1 million at once. Because like I said, Tony is going to take 10% of that, but that's capped at $100,000. So that means if you sell $1 million, he's going to take that $100,000 because it's 10%. But if you sell $1.5 million, he's still only going to take a maximum of $100,000. To be honest though, that's up to you because it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's only 10%. But do with that info what you will. What I really like about the nightclub is no matter how much product you're selling at once, you're still only going to have one sell vehicle, making it a really easy business to complete solo. Now, depending on how much stock you're selling at once, you're actually going to get assigned a different sell vehicle. So there's 3 different vehicles. First one is the Speedo that you get given with the nightclub. That one's going to allow you to sell up to 90 crates at once. The next one is the Mule Custom, which you can actually buy and you're going to need to buy if you want to be able to use it. However, the mule will only be used if you have between 91 and 180 crates at the time of selling. Then the final one is the Pounder Custom. This is a pretty big truck, and this one's used for over 180 crate sales. What's nice is you can actually custom upgrade these vehicles to make them a lot stronger. They're gonna have armor. You can even put weapons on them if you want. But like I said earlier, I recommend doing this in invite-only lobbies, so you shouldn't have to worry about players trying to grief you. So hopefully you shouldn't actually have to upgrade these vehicles. The final thing I'm going to let you know about the nightclub is this is where you're going to store your Terabyte if you choose to buy one. The Terabyte is a vehicle you can buy on Warstock, and this is the vehicle you're going to want to buy before you buy the Oppressor Mark II if you choose to buy it, because you can store the Oppressor Mark II in your Terabyte and add missiles to it and whatnot from the Terabyte. This is the only place you can do it. The Terabyte also lets you start up client jobs, which are actually pretty nice paying little jobs. So if you do choose to buy that, well, I made a completely separate guide on that. I'll link that one down below. And we'll wrap it up there. So the nightclub is probably in my top 3 businesses in the game. Probably number 2 actually, right behind the Kasaka submarine if we're including that one. This is absolutely a must-own business, so I hope this video helped you out. If it did, a thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe for more stuff like this. I hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Boys!
But you won't find me on the mountaintop.